What's going on, everybody? My name is David Delano, recording this here on late Friday, early Saturday. We're going to talk about the NBA playoffs. And what I'm going to do in this video, I'm going to give out a prediction for all 8 first round playoff series. And what we're going to do is we're going to give out a betting line for each of those. So we're not just going to say, this team's going to beat that team. We're going to look at the odds on this video according to DraftKings and tell you guys what I think that the best play is for each series in this NBA playoffs. On Friday night, the Miami Heat got the win over the Atlanta Hawks. Miami Heat was my top play for Friday night. And then the Memphis Grizzlies took care of the Dallas Mavericks with no problem. You can follow me on X at GetSportsStrong before I get into this. Also, you can follow me over there on IG as well. And you can find all of my top plays over on Winnable / David Delano throughout the playoffs. Let's go in order of where these series are starting, because once they tip off, lines and odds are going to change. In this first series here, the Indiana Pacers hosting the Milwaukee Bucks, 50-32 on the season for the Pacers, 48-34 for the Bucks. Bucks coming off of a couple disappointing playoff runs since that championship that they had a few years back. But I actually like the Milwaukee Bucks in this series overall as a slight underdog on the money line, plus 135. They've had issues in the past in these playoff series with Giannis being out. Dame Lillard's out. Who knows how soon he'll be back, but there's a lot of I think that there's a lot of value here. You got a different Bucks team, Kyle Kuzma playing well. You've got Kevin Porter Jr. playing well. Even got some guys that you wouldn't really expect. Ryan Rollins coming on. I think that there's enough pieces here around Giannis who, arguably, best player in the Eastern Conference, at least, best player in the Eastern Conference playoffs. I think that the Bucks are a live dog. Over on DraftKings, Bucks to win the series, plus 135. I think that the Bucks get it done against the Indiana Pacers for this series. So regardless of how many games, that's going to be my first pick there. All right, next one here. This one really, really, really intrigues me. This series between the Los Angeles Clippers and the Denver Nuggets. Both teams coming in 50-32. Yeah, the Nuggets that fired Mike Malone. Some people agree with the move. I don't at all. I think it's been since the 80s since a coach has been fired this late in the season. And they're still 50-32. A little bit, I think, overrated with some of the gloom and doom with the Nuggets. Yes, they've had defensive struggles this season. I've heard some people saying they were going to fire him anyway. They were going to lose in the playoffs anyway. I mean, when you look at this, you got 16 teams in the playoffs, so I guess it's always somewhat. I mean, you could step out on a limb, I guess you could say, and say they were going to lose in the playoffs anyway, because 15 out of the 16 teams are only one team's going to bring it all home at the end of the season. But there's no guarantee that this Nuggets team wasn't going to go back to the NBA Finals. I mean, they may not be favored, but it was possible. Los Angeles Clippers playing some good basketball. I mean, Kawhi Leonard looks healthy. James Harden looks motivated. How long will that continue for? I have a hard time believing in the Clippers in this one. But the Nuggets, so many things going on. Aaron Gordon just did an interview. Looked like he got into a UFC fight. I don't know what's going on there. Looking for value in all these series, but, we can't force plays. The odds, the bookmakers are going to give us a little more in some series than others. It's minus 180, but I like the Nuggets plus 1.5. What does that mean for a series? It means that the Nuggets can either win the series or take this to at least 7 games plus 1.5. If the Clippers win this series 4-2, 4-1, 4-0, you lose. Any Nuggets win of the series would cash. And if it goes 7 games, if the Clippers win 4-3, we would cash. So I'm going to take the Nuggets plus 1.5, minus 180 over on DraftKings for this one. Next series, we're going to look at the Detroit Pistons against the New York Knicks. And before I get into this, just want to tell you guys, I want to welcome you guys over to a website. If you want to get involved in these games, you don't necessarily have a huge bankroll. Welcome you guys to check out Player Profit. You can start with as low as $30. You could go up much higher. 2 levels of challenges to get a funded account. If you pass the 2 challenges, which is not easy, but definitely possible, you pass those 2 challenges, you get to that 3rd level, you get a funded account where you can cash out 70%. And you're thinking, why just 70%? It's like, well, because they're giving you money to play with for a small investment. So go over there and check out Player Profit if you'd like. Use promo code David and you'll get 30% off it. So you could go ahead and check that out. Use promo code David if you do. All right, let's go ahead and get into this next series here between the Detroit Pistons and the New York Knicks. And I think that the Detroit Pistons are definitely a live dog in this spot. New York Knicks obviously much more experienced. A lot of people not paying attention to this Pistons team. I think that they're dangerous. Shaquille O'Neal showed us about a month ago as a guy who, gets paid very well to cover the NBA. Obviously, one of the all-time greats. He hasn't really been paying attention to the Pistons, though. I think a lot of people aren't. And I think the Pistons, man, I think that they're worth a sprinkle at this plus 350. A little bit of some different chemistry with this New York Knicks. One thing I will say about the Knicks, defensively, these two teams were very comparable. But in the second half of the season, amongst teams that were, in the top 6 of the conference who didn't have to deal with any of the play-in, the Knicks coming in as the lowest offensively rated playoff team since the All-Star break. That's a bit of concern for me. I'm going to take the Detroit Pistons here, plus 2.5 games, minus 155. It's minus 155, but Pistons plus 2.5 games. That basically means we need the Pistons to win at least 2 games in this series. As long as the Pistons don't get swept or go down 4-1, this would cash. So I like the plus 2.5 games for the Pistons, minus 155. That's going to be the play for this one. And next series that we have, last game going on Saturday, we've got the Timberwolves and the Lakers. And, Luka took a less talented roster, not knocking that roster last year, but he took a less talented roster to the NBA Finals last season with the Dallas Mavericks. Now he's paired up with the ageless LeBron James. LeBron James 15-2 all time in the first round for the series. Minnesota Timberwolves made a nice run last year. I don't think they have the same versatility, though, with Julius Randle now instead of Karl Anthony Towns. I like the Lakers to win the series. I'm going to go Lakers minus 195 to win the series. You can take the Lakers minus 1.5 at plus 115. I'm just going to go ahead and back the Lakers to win the series minus 195. So for these first 4 series, just to go ahead and recap, I like the Milwaukee Bucks to win the series plus 135 just to win the series outright. I like the Denver Nuggets plus 1.5. That means that the Nuggets have to win at least 3 games in the series at minus 180. I like the Detroit Pistons at plus 2.5. That means the Pistons need to win at least 2 games in the series or better at minus 155. And I like the Lakers to win this series minus 195. Now moving along with these series that are going to begin on Sunday. Start off with the noon game, Memphis Grizzlies and Oklahoma City Thunder. Are the Oklahoma City Thunder they're definitely the team to beat in the West, but are they as invincible as they're being tagged as. We shall see. Looking at this series, when you look at series like this, you're looking at the series winner outright. Oklahoma City's minus 1,800. Memphis is plus 900. I don't think Memphis is going to win this series, but you can't lay minus 1,800. For those of you following along at home, that basically means you have to risk $1,800 for the chance to win $100 if you like OKC. So we got to look for something manageable here. I think that the Grizzlies can compete. The Grizzlies plus 2.5. Grizzlies would have to win at least 2 games. Plus 195. I like that. I like that. You look at in the alternative, you could say, well, if you don't think that they're going to win 2 games, the Thunder minus a game and a half, minus 550. I don't think that that's an option. Even for the Thunder, minus 2.5 games, minus 245. I think if you're going to play this one, but to take the 195, the plus 195 on the Memphis Grizzlies plus 2.5 games to win 2 games in the series for plus money. It's going to be the second plus money pick here for us in the playoff series. Next one here, looking at the Orlando Magic and the Boston Celtics. I'm not going to go on too long with this one. I like the way that you could play this on DraftKings right now. You can either take the Celtics really to sweep, or take this in 5 games. You could bet on the series to go 4 games at plus 105, and you could take the series to go 5 games at plus 190. If you're risking a pretty sizable amount, you can play both of those. If one of them hits, you can get a small profit. I'm going to take this series. I think that the Magic get a game, gentlemen sweep. I think that the Magic can win a game in this series. So I'm going to take this series to go 5 games. Celtics and Magic to go 5 games. It's actually not an exact outcome, but obviously I see that going Celtics 4-1, not the other way around. If you think the Magic are going to win, you could get a huge payout if that's what you believe in. I don't, but I'm going to take this series to go 5 games at plus 190. And the reason I'm doing that, if you want to take the Boston Celtics to win, it's minus 5,000, $5,000 to win 100. No thanks. Orlando Magic plus 1,600. You could risk $100, win a $1,600 profit. Just give me the plus 190 for the series to go 5 games. Next, we got my Cleveland Cavaliers against the Miami Heat. Cavs with the long layoff. Cavs play well as a team. I'm a little worried about the possibility of Donovan Mitchell trying to do too much, maybe shooting the Cavs out of a game or 2 in this series. I don't think that the Heat will beat the Cavs, but after 2 impressive playing games, Eric Spoelstra, Kenny Atkinson, this is still first time as a head coach with the Cavs with this group in the playoffs. I know he's been a head coach before, but I have to go with, I like the Cavs in this series, but I think Miami can get 2 games. Looking at the value here, do I want to take the Cavs minus 1.5 at minus 475? That means if you think that the Cavs either sweep or win in 5, you got to risk $475 to win 100. I really final series, which is really interesting. You got the Golden State Warriors going up against the Houston Rockets. And in this one here, I'm going to have to go ahead and back the Warriors, all the dominance that they've had, Jimmy Butler, Steph Curry. I'd love to see Ime Udoka and the Rockets win. Hearts with H-Town, but I got to roll with the Warriors in this one, minus a game and a half. So we're going to go ahead and roll with the Golden State Warriors in this one, minus 105. That means that the Warriors, they have to win this game in 6 or less. I think that if the Rockets can actually take this to 7 games in Houston, They may pull this off, but I think that the Warriors win this in 6. So I'm going to take the Golden State Warriors minus 1.5 games for the series at minus 105. So that's those are my series predictions. 3 plays for Saturday. You can get my full playoff pass over on Winnable. Link in the description for that. And one other thing I want to let you guys know about. Now, always make sure to wager responsibly. If you've got a team, if you got a dog in the fight, this playoffs can get very, very stressful. Don't wager what you can't afford to lose and stress yourself out. But I do want to let you guys know that it's always hard to battle stress. For all the female viewers, welcome. But I'm assuming most of the viewers are males. And, there's a lot of different stress that we go through as men, probably watching this video, trying to get away from some of those stressors. But we all have different things that we deal with in our day to day lives. And the reason that I'm bringing that out, a brand new book called BattleBorn, A Man's Guide to Conquering Stress. Book just dropped on April 18th. Just ordered my copy. Link in the description if you want to go ahead and check that out. Has nothing to do with basketball, but has everything to do with being a man and dealing with stress. So you could go ahead and check that out or grab an early Father's Day gift for somebody. So go ahead, check out Battleborn. Link in the description for that book. Follow me on X at GetSportsStrong. Follow me on Instagram at GetSportsStrong. I invite you over to my Winnable page, even if you're not interested in purchasing any premium picks or anything like that. Go ahead and follow me on Winnable for free. Follow my free Winnable. Drop occasional picks on there. Also, you can check me out once a week over on Sports Grid Radio and TV, Sirius XM channel 159. Have more information about that over on my Winnable page and on my X page when those things happen. So those are my playoff predictions. Let me know what are your series predictions for the NBA playoffs. Thanks so much for watching. Once again, those are my series predictions there. If you subscribe to this channel, I definitely would appreciate it. God bless and good luck.